Hello class, I wanted to do a quick welcome video for this section of History 130 that we'll be having online this semester. My name is Matthew Opitz, and I just wanted to walk you through a few quick things to highlight in particular here as we start with our first week of the course. This is a late start 14-week course, so it's going to be ever so slightly compressed because we're purposefully getting a late start to the semester. So, for example, this very first week, uh, between now and this coming Saturday before midnight, there are actually two lessons that you'll need to do. One is basically kind of introducing yourself, kind of making sure that you're familiar with the course and each other. There's a discussion forum there where you can introduce yourselves, and I see looks like some students already have, which is awesome. But there's that, and then also there will be a lesson 2 to do, which will have a quiz and a discussion forum where you'll need to analyze some primary source documents from the period right after the Civil War, which is where we'll be starting off with in this course, which is basically post-Civil War, right after the Civil War, basically the period of what's called Reconstruction, all the way to ideally the present. Hopefully we'll make it all the way up to current events with the schedule, and if we don't have too many more snow days or anything like that, hopefully it doesn't throw us off. But I just want to give the class a heads up that this first week you basically have 2 lessons to do. Instead of, usually you'll just have 1 lesson per week, and each lesson will consist of a discussion forum to post on with an initial analysis post and at least 2 replies to other students. And then there'll be usually a quiz each week as well on that lesson. Some weeks there will be additional assignments, like occasionally a unit exam. And when you get to the very end of the course, towards the very end, the Proctored Event will be due like in May. And so this is not something you need to worry about right away, but just keep in mind that sometime during the semester, you'll need to either meet with me, either on Zoom with a webcam or in person to fulfill this Proctored Event, where we can basically do like a little writing workshop. I can help you brainstorm ideas or help with your film or media commentary project, which is sort of the closest thing this section will have to like a paper assignment. Or you can also fulfill this by scheduling an appointment and going to an appointment at the Carol Jones Writing Center on the OTC campus. So just keep in mind, at some point in the semester, you'll have to do that. If you have a webcam, Zoom is usually the most convenient way. Most students fulfill this. You just email me to schedule a Zoom meeting at some point in the semester, where you can kind of describe where you're at with the film commentary assignment, and if you have any questions. It doesn't need to take super long. It can take 5 minutes. It can take 30 minutes. However long you would like to use for that. But I just mentioned that because even though it's only worth 10 points, it's a requirement, a absolute mandatory requirement to do this in order to pass the course. So even if you had a passing grade otherwise, without this, you wouldn't be able to pass any online course without the Proctored Event. So just keep that in mind in the back of your head. But like I said, it doesn't come up for a long while now. As of, at least for this week, the only thing you really have to worry about is lesson 1 and lesson 2. Lesson 1 is just kind of getting to know each other and to sign off that you're familiar with the syllabus and you know what the course is going to require. So just make sure to take a look at the syllabus. And then lesson 2 is where we actually get into the material on Reconstruction. And by the way, the textbook for this section will be this ebook that you'll find right here under modules at the very top. OTC students in this course are going to be automatically enrolled in this auto access program, where you will automatically get access to this ebook by default. And I think you'll get charged like $38 for this. Now, there is technically a way to opt out if you want to. I think within this first week or something like that. Um, there's someone you can email if you want to do that, but I wouldn't recommend that. I would just recommend paying the $38 so you can get access to the ebook. It's the cheapest and I think most convenient way to get access to the reference material for this course. The only reason to opt out would be really if you wanted to buy a physical copy of the book instead, which is going to run you a bit more in terms of price. So there's the ebook, um, which you'll need to read chapter 16 this week for lesson 2 out of that. So just a heads up on that. And also just one little thing I was going to mention is throughout this course, anytime you have to do some sort of written response, whether it's on a discussion forum or in an exam essay or on your film or media commentary assignment, one thing I'm really looking forward to is students showing some sort of personalized engagement with the material, which could mean either describing how the material either relates to maybe your family history or your personal life or current events, what's going on in politics at the moment. You could choose any one of those three that you're comfortable with, but some sort of personalized engagement and personalized judgment and evaluation of how you could apply these things. And I do that, and I'm specifically, kind of calling that out or mentioning that not only because I think it'll be especially interesting to hear that, but also these days there are more and more effective computers that can basically write a response, a generic response from scratch and sound pretty convincing. So I figure one way to respond to that would be to require students to use all sorts of lockdown browsers and pass student submissions through all these filters to check for AI generated responses, which I feel like that's an arms race that I'm not really interested in playing. I think it's also kind of it's getting beside the point. I guess it kind of seems inevitable that human beings are going to be using things like this AI to augment our capabilities to make our lives easier, and I feel like it's going against the grain to fight against that. And so instead, I think what can human beings still offer that computers can't, and it's things like being able to evaluate and make judgments on some of these issues. The AI program still won't do that. It'll say, "Oh, I'm just a AI program. I'm not qualified to give my opinion on this or that." And also to to share kind of personal connections to the material. I want the class to especially, play to those strengths that human beings still have for now until we have fully sentient AI that can also have its own personalities and whatnot. Um, I'd like the class to, play, more towards that. Of course, still have analysis and it's not as if, just to make it completely like opinion based or completely personally oriented, but I would like there to be at least a little bit of a personal engagement with each writing prompt throughout this semester. So I thought I'd just mention that. That's kind of the one big course policy that I've kind of added or changed this semester compared to how I usually do things. Um, you know, Other things I guess I could mention is, I have a fairly lenient late policy in terms of for everything except for the unit exams. The unit exams I'm a little more strict on, where I can only let one exam be made up as sort of a freebie. But other assignments like the discussion boards and quizzes, I'll take them late with a 10% penalty per week that they are late. Of course, be familiar with the administrative withdrawal policy. If you are inactive, if you're not participating in the course for more than 14 days, I would have to withdraw you. And participation means like communication. Just going onto the Canvas course website or the ebook doesn't really count as participation. Participation means like submitting work or communicating with me on the discussion boards or via email. So make sure you're aware of that. So if there's an extended period of kind of absence, as far as online classes go, that's the benchmark they use. Just be aware of that. If you have any other questions, of course, feel free to put them on the Q&A forum, and I'll get to them and answer them. Otherwise, just take a look at the syllabus and at all the various couple of things to do for lesson 1 and lesson 2 this week. And best of luck. Look forward to reading everyone's introductory posts this week to get to know you all. Until then, bye-bye.